Good morning, you're watching Hornbill TV special broadcast in which today Hornbill TV will be focusing on the election results to the 5 state assembly elections, which is Puducherry, Kerala, West Bengal, Assam and Tamil Nadu. Well, today is the D-Day for many governments in these 5 states. Remember, viewers, that there were by-poll elections held during this month of April, which we will also be concentrating on, but these are the 5 major states that went for elections in April 9th. West Bengal had a 2-phase polling, while all the other 4 states had the polling on a 1-day polling phase. Well, right now we will be speaking more about our neighboring state of Assam, where 126 seats are up for grabs, and the main contesting parties are the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Indian National Congress and its allies. Well, the BJP and its allies in the NDA, according to the Election Commission website, they are showing early trends in which they are leading well, but the Congress too, in their own capacity, are leading in their respective assembly constituencies. Now, to speak more on this particular D-Day, especially for Assam, where 126 seats are for grab, and Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma is looking for his another victory over the Congress, we will be speaking to our correspondent Anirudh Laskar, who is currently in Silchar, and we'll try and get some early trends as to what is happening down on the ground in Silchar, and also the exit polls that gave massive numbers or majority numbers to Bharatiya Janata Party. Does that actually speak for itself on the ground? So we'll be speaking to our correspondent Anirudh, and we'll try and get some more details for the viewers. First of all, good morning Anirudh, thank you so much for joining us. Well, today is D-Day, I'm sure you're out, and how is the counting of the polls going on, and has there been any reports where there have been minor clashes? Because we are getting reports that in West Bengal there were some minor clashes as the counting began between the BJP and the TMC, but is that the same situation on the ground there in Assam too?
In fact, in Assam it's much more peaceful, but though it's raining in various places throughout Assam, and forecast says so it will remain throughout the day. But the weather has, it's fine as of now, but the counting process itself is it's so severe. Arrangements have been made, CCTVs have been put, stringent laws have been placed for vehicles to enter or not. I've even seen candidates walking a long distance in order to come to the counting centers. So this sort of arrangements have been made. I just spoke to the security chief also out here, SSPs and all. They are saying that a security arrangement has been kept very tight, and the systems also. Even the candidates were very, I spoke to 1 or 2 candidates who have come, and they are saying the system is very good this time around, for which such sort of practices cannot be, would not happen out here this time around. Akivito.
All right, Anirudh, since you're based in Silchar, on Friday we got some heavy news from the Election Commission in which it had called for the repoll of the Karimganj assembly seats. What were one of the main reasons as to why the Election Commission had to have a repoll in the Karimganj, and on election day on April 9th, did Karimganj actually experience or witness violence or some malpractice?
Yeah, in fact, that was the reason for which, that the polling, only for one polling booth had to be done. But as of now, today itself, things are pretty much clear that all the polling process is over. By that time, it was taken up 2 days later of the polls. But today counting is going on, and as I said, the weather is slight drizzling out here, but it's fine as of now. But it has started in a slow pace in Silchar, but going at a rapid pace in Karimganj and other parts of Assam. In various places, almost the second round has started. But here in Silchar, it's a bit slow as of now. Akivito.
All right, coming back to the exit polls, because these exit polls make a lot of noise before the counting day, and there are various agencies that actually conduct these exit polls, and when these exit polls were actually allowed to be addressed, or rather shown to the public, almost all of the exit polls have given a super majority to the Bharatiya Janata Party and the NDA. What is the feeling like in the ground actually? Because especially looking at the Barak Valley, you've got a lot of Bengali speaking Assamese people too there, and now the TMC has also entered the race. So do you feel that this is really the picture on the ground?
That's true. You know, the exit polls itself on the first day after the polls of West Bengal was over clearly showed Assam going to power for the third, and the BJP in Assam is going for power for the third time. Sarbananda Sonowal was earlier chief minister, then Himanta Biswa Sharma became a chief minister, and he is all set to go for that year. But then it will be a tough fight this time around. The number of figures that he has projected himself around 90 to 100 seats he is going to win with his allies, or out of 126 may not be the case, because Congress is showing a tough fight, and that is more likely the result will come in that way.
All right. Now coming back to another party that actually performed quite well in the 2021, but the recent Election Commission of India data that is being broadcasted, or rather that is being live updated, shows that the AIUDF, which had done pretty well in 2021, they're actually lagging behind by a big margin, but showing lead in one. What is the trajectory for the AIUDF? Do you think that they will also get the same number as the previous election?
It's true, Akivito. This party, which came from a party that broke off from the Congress and had its own party way back in the 2080s. So this thing has changed, completely this time around. Because last election they had a lot of, but people have now sidelined. Those who are supporting the BJP have gone to the AGP, their allies, and those who support the Congress. These AIDS members have joined either the Congress or the AGP. So these things have factored AIUDF this time around, and that's why the number of their candidates might decrease a lot than what it was in 2021.
All right, now Anirudh, coming back to the identity of the assembly elections, this time around in 2026, we saw heavy campaigning from both parties, or rather both camps, the NDA and the Congress or the India bloc. Well, also this election 2026 also saw mudslinging to a heavy level, and just before the elections there was a big allegations against Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa's wife Rinki Bhuyan about having multiple passports, and that was actually told by Mr. Pawan Khera, who's also a senior leader in the Congress party, and now there's a whole case that is brewing. The Guwahati High Court has rejected the anticipatory bail. So do you feel that those allegations made by the Congress just at the hour of the election or the polling day, do you think that will have any effect on the outcome of what would happen today?
These are certain factors, but how big these issues can be for the voters to cast their vote is a different thing this time around to assess. Because, the entire political gamut of Assam has changed. People are eyeing development. They are seeing, those schemes. They are seeing Uddamita schemes and all those stuff. That is the reason. And when Chief Minister, he holds a roadshow, the entire city or the entire town comes out in his favor. These sort of things are there. How much the opposition, the Congress and his allies, will make a dent to pose a bigger threat to Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma is a thing to watch out for. Akivito.
All right. Also, now coming back to one constituency that I really want to speak about, and that is the Dispur Assembly constituency, in which senior Congress leader or turncoat, you can call him, Pradyut Bordoloi, is now contesting from the Dispur Assembly constituency seat. Then you've got the woman Congress Mahila President Meera Bora Thakur, and we've also got Mr. Ajay, who was in the BJP but did not get a ticket, but then he filed as an independent, and during that phase of time he had said that he actually loves the BJP party, but this was unfair that he did not get the ticket from the BJP. So he went forward and made something called the Trinamool BJP. Could you explain to the viewers the dynamics of what is going to happen in Dispur this time with Pradyut Bordoloi, who's a very senior leader who was on the Congress but was accepted by the BJP just before the assembly elections. Then you've got the incumbent BJP MLA who did not get his ticket but is now fighting, and now you've got the Congress Mahila President. So
Akivito, you see, this election is so surprising in the sense that You know, this Pradyut Bordol himself was the chairman of the, the drafting committee of the policies that they are going to formulate for the Congress party. The election manifesto, he was building up the election manifesto of the Congress party. And he himself came to Silchar, and I met him, and that time he was almost on the crux of, showing what was deficient in the BJP and why the voters should vote for the Congress. And after going from here, all of a sudden he changes and shifts to BJP. This sort of election is unprecedented in Assam this time around. Those who are in the BJP are joining the Congress. Those who are in the Congress are joining the BJP in less than 24 hours and getting a ticket to contest the election. So this time around also people will be confused as to whom to vote, but they will have a clear mind whom they want as the candidate. That's it, Akivito.
All right, now, the women reservation bill, or rather the special session that was held just after the polling in the Assam Assembly finished and before it went to West Bengal, the Government of India had a special session in which they introduced the Constitutional Amendment Bill, the Women's Reservation Bill, but that came with a very insinuating other factor, which was the delimitation also. Now, after this topic was brought, a word called gerrymandering became quite famous, and they used Assam, the state of Assam, as the perfect example of how the ruling party is gerrymandering with the constituencies, giving benefits to the ruling party. Now, if you look at the way the delimitation has happened, and this is the first elections after the delimitation, you look at Barak Valley too, it had 15 seats, but now that has been reduced to 13. So, when that topic was actually being a burning issue, did the people of Assam also feel legit that yes, it does look like the constituencies have been shaped in such a way that will give advantage to the ruling party?
Because when this idea of floating of, increasing the number of parliamentary members and all started.
Yes.
Say, for example, from 545, if you take 850,
yes,
and UP would be getting from 80 to, while the southern states would be getting less.
Yes.
So they are saying that it on population, if it is being done, then it's a complete evil, not just others, because they have done what the was told to them to control, and that is how they have been population down. But in states, if there is a complete difference between the entire northern half and the southern half.
Yes.
And not only that, even in Assam also, the delimitation, what you said of say Barak Valley itself as an example,
yes,
out of 15 it has gone to 30.
Yes.
It was 15 when the population was around 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs or 8 lakhs.
Yes.
It has gone to 40 lakhs now. And after going to 40 lakhs, how can we bring it down to from 15 to 13? So
exactly.
This is a clear indication of a delimitation done with a central idea of, vote bank politics in mind. And that was done for all parties, to see for themselves
yes,
what has been done for delimitation. And that would be the same thing for the parliamentary seats also, Akivito.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Anirudh. I will let you go and visit the strong rooms once to see how the counting process is actually happening.
Sure.
And we will be getting back to you to get more details, and because by the time we get back to you, you would have had some figures coming off. So we would love to get in touch with you again and give our viewers the latest updates. Thank you so much, Anirudh.
Sure.
So that was our correspondent, Anirudh Laskar, who is in Silchar at the moment. As our reporter or correspondent just mentioned, well, today Assam seems to be blessed with rains, and in many areas there is rainfall, a slight drizzle, as our correspondent had just informed us. Well, he has also said that what the exit polls have predicted just before the polling day, it looks as though the exit polls are actually showing a true trajectory of how the voters in Assam have voted. And also, looking at the exit poll figures, looks like Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma is going to helm the Assam government for the second time as Chief Minister. Well, looking at the Congresses and its allies' performances too, well, the Election Commission of India data website is giving constant updates, and it is also showing that the Congress and its allies are also leading in some assembly constituency states, assembly constituencies. So only with time will actually come to know the real figure. But for the viewers, this counting is for 5 states it is currently happening. The counting of the votes started at 8 a.m. today morning, and this counting process is ongoing. Well, there is some fierce battle going on in some other parts of India. Take it West Bengal, Assam, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry. Well, in Kerala, if you look at it, it's the left versus the United Democratic Front or the Congress allies, and it is showing signs that the people of Kerala, I think, want change, and that is why the Congress seems to be leading at the current moment. Well, coming to West Bengal, even though the TMC and the Bharatiya Janata Party had one kind of an election this year, the ECI data website shows that it is a 50-50 fight, and the Bharatiya Janata Party is actually leading the TMC at this current moment. Now, if you go back down south to Tamil Nadu, well, you've got the DMK that looks to be back to helming the power again, but this time there is a new entry, and that is the Tamilaga Vetri Kadakam, and this is South superstar Vijay's party, and his party has also opened its account in this year's elections. Well, Hornbill TV will be getting you all the latest and live updates as to where the trajectory of the votes, or rather what the numbers are showing, and we will be getting all the latest updates, so stay tuned to Hornbill TV.